Hey, darling, how are
Yeah.
you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. You look knackered.
Oh, thank you.
In a good way.
Thank you.
No, how's life been treating you in the bubble?
I have to find some things to entertain myself, but it's fun. I mean, we're here to do a job, and it's been interesting. It's been very interesting the last couple of days.
That just that just tickled me. So what I noticed that you have been doing a little bit of wrestling.
Yeah, unsuccessful, but entertaining nonetheless.
No,
It's not my
babe,
calling.
it's not.
No,
No, give it up.
no. I
No, you look
definitely
like you're
wouldn't
having fun
be.
there.
Yeah, no, it's fun, man. It's all in good fun. It's definitely not my calling, though.
No, no. We're here to talk about the fights on Saturday night. Please phone charge because I can then see what's going on, what's being said. But fights Saturday night, the matchroom fights. So, firstly, what's it been like for you as a coach being inside the bubble? Is that giving you some sort of, I guess, just showing you what it'd be like when you eventually get inside there to box?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to be here finally in the UK, period, whether it's on the coach side, the fighting side. I absolutely love the fans and the atmosphere here, regardless, because this true and true, you guys are such true boxing fans and the knowledge is crazy, you know what I mean? And then to be here, during such a hyped up fight week, and to be on the
Yeah.
coach's side, it's been very interesting. Everybody here is really, really, really nice. Everything's done really professionally. So it's just an awesome experience in a whole. And then just be on the coach's side, to peer support my fighter. And it's awesome. It's just another day in the office though. It's so familiar, even though I'm not fighting. It's just a familiar atmosphere. We've been here a million times, myself, Brian, and also Ebony's other coach too from Australia. So, we're here just to do a job and to, have some fun, but to get that title.
So in terms of just like you switching caps, obviously I'm guessing there's a less pressure on you, but there's still pressure because it is a world title fight.
I wouldn't say less pressure. I'd say probably more pressure as a coach. As a fighter, we rely on our coaches so much. It's a team sport at the end of the day, but you're in there by yourself, but you rely on your team to see what you don't. So I have to be very, very much more analytical than I already am as a fighter. As a coach, I'm there for the fighter's safety to ensure a game plan to make sure her head is clear. It's I think it's a lot more pressure as a coach than a fighter.
Mm. Are you one of those coaches that if things, let's just say, are you self-critical?
As a fighter, yes, I am, and then I'm coaching a fighter that is 10 times more critical. So yeah, it's I have to be the balance. You don't want too much critique. If there's, you have to, also give, positive reinforcement. But we're here to do a job, so I'm not gonna, be a cheerleader as some of these other coaches in the bubble are to, just be, have pom poms instead of hand pads. I want to make sure she does. She has the best possible outcome, and she's the best mentally and physically. So yeah, we critique absolutely,
Yeah.
but it's not negative or positive. It's just gonna get the job done for this fight. We have nothing else. We're not looking through a past Courtney. We have her right in front of us. That's
Yeah.
what's here right now. So absolutely, but we like to have some fun too.
Yeah, because sometimes it can be difficult. I mean, I guess as a coach myself, it's like I'm a great believer in telling the truth,
Absolutely.
and sometimes the truth hurts. But have you seen, I mean, obviously, Ebony's been away in Australia with her other coach, and I'm not trying to suggest that one side is better than the other. Both sides have their part to play. But have you seen a difference in her performance over the last few months?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes, when she's been with her coach in Australia for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and sometimes you hear the same thing and you have such a close relationship that sometimes having a different atmosphere. Yeah, I think her coming here and getting kind of fresh eyes on her and fresh coaching and fresh atmosphere.
We'll make it work.
I think her getting in a different atmosphere, getting a different boxing atmosphere, getting fresh eyes, getting perspectives, and she's hearing some of the same things that she was getting told back in Australia from a coach, but from different voice. So sometimes you got to hear it from somebody else. You know what I mean? So, and myself, you know, I'm not the primary coach. It's my manager as well. We have the same manager, Brian Cohen. You know, he's very analytical, very particular, he's very knowledgeable of the game as well. He's been in the game, coaching, fighting, managing. So putting our brains together, along with Ebony is very, very knowledgeable of boxing. She loves boxing. All she does is watch boxing. All we do is talk boxing. So it's been a really good mesh. It's been a really good balance for her and us as coaches as well.
I'm going to have to address it because there are two sides, the two camps. Two lines of thought. So one of the lines of thought is how can effectively novices in the pro game fight for a world title? And then on the other side, there is, it's good for female boxing. It's amazing because it puts eyes on the sport. You, as somebody that you're world champion, you've been waiting, I think, over a year to fight. It's a difficult question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Which camp do you sit in and why?
I'm one person who may not agree with somebody's point of view, but I'll take the time to understand it. You know what I mean? I see both sides. I see people who are upset about both Courtney and Ebony getting this title shot because they're both in the same boat. They both have the same amount of fights. They both have the lack of experience. I mean, amateur experience as well, because amateur boxing crossing into the pros, usually, you know, you have that pedigree and you have that following and you've done the work. So I understand it. I can see both sides. Do I feel as though, as being a female boxer or being a fighter in general, having this hyped up so much, and then their lack of experience versus what they do in the ring and their skills is going to speak for themselves. And Courtney's a great fighter, Bridges is a great fighter, and though they haven't had much experience, they're going to show why they've gotten this title shot. Do I feel as though it's early? It's early for both of them, but they got the title shot. You know what I mean? Do I think it would have been early for Ball? Absolutely. Everybody has these very, like, not that many fights. Again, women's fighting, women's boxing, there's not a big pool either. And if you're a promoter like Eddie Hearn that has somebody like Courtney that he wants to push and he wants to get her a title shot, why not? You know what I mean? I see both perspectives. Do I have an opinion about it? Do I think it's early? Absolutely. But it's not like Shannon has 20 fights and then Ebony has 5 fights. They're on level playing ground, if you ask me. You know what I mean? And they got the title shot. I mean, we'll see if it's worthy. Do I think it's going to be worthy? Am I biased, obviously, as a coach, but as a fan and as a fighter of women's boxing, do I think it's amazing for women's boxing? Absolutely, because it's not going to be a novelty fight. It's not going to be two women just slapping each other in the ring. It's going to be a great fight. So I'm happy it's happening. And people are going to watch either to see Bridges lose, to see Courtney lose, or to see, I don't know, what they're going to weigh in, but people are going to watch regardless. And that's exactly what you want. And I have no doubt in my mind they're going to put on a great fight. So I'm excited that people are going to tune in for whatever reason. Just watch.
I like your honesty, because people get very upset when you have an opinion on something, and ours might differ, but at the same time, it's just one person's opinion. It's like, what is the whole Twitter beef? I mean, I have been looking on social media, and there is a line of thought also that listen, I get it. If I was offered a load of dough to fight, if you were offered, would you or would you not take it?
Absolutely. Money talks, bullshit walks. I mean, what are you going to do? And especially learning the business part of this game. I think that's what a lot of people, especially the fans, forget, that this is a business. This is an entertainment business at the end of the day. It's up to the fighters to do the hard work. It's up to the fighters to know the business as well. I mean, they have to have a good team behind them, and they have to be knowledgeable of how it works. I think Ebony is a genius. You know, she got herself known. However, on the fighting skill side, the reason why I even agreed to help train is because I know she can fight, and I know she has respect for the game. Her approaches to how she got there, and she puts in the work. You know what I mean? She got there regardless. She didn't get there just because she's a model. She's not a model. She's just a confident fighter. You know what I mean? So why not?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are, like I say, some pros. There have been some pro comments. There have been some, you know, comments. The pros. I'll start with the pros. As a coach, it's always good to start with the good first. So this should have been filmed in a paddling pool with baby oil. I think that's a pro.
Probably.
I kind of think that's a sort of a pro. One person was saying that they don't mind the fight, but they didn't think, I think it was, who was it? Sonny Edwards. He didn't think that it was worthy of a Commonwealth title. And so there was bits and pieces going backwards and forwards. But they thought basically that this is a con. Why on earth are two novices like this fighting for a world title? These are not my words. This is social media. This is why women's boxing isn't taken seriously. And that, I'm presuming, is from a man. What is your response to that?
Well, knowing what I've seen and kind of analyzing, again, not being biased, what I've seen from Shannon Courtney, what I've seen from Ebony Bridges, again, it's level playing ground. And do I think it's worthy of a world title? I would have rather seen maybe an 8-round fight for them because of their lack of experience, if I'm going to speak frankly and just honestly as far as a fighter and the steps it takes to get there. But again, it was a vacant title that the promoter, Eddie Hearn, he's a genius. It was available, so take it. In women's boxing, there's not that many opportunities. So why not? I understand. I totally understand the comment. But I believe that this fight will be worthy of a world title because of the two fighters, because of the hype. I think the lack of experience they made up in the hype. You know what I mean? Yeah, so yeah. I totally agree. Like I said, could we have, if the title, it would be different if somebody had the title. You know, if Ball had the title, or if somebody in the weight class had the title already and this was an eliminator. This is worthy of an eliminator, absolutely. But the title's available, so take it. You know what I mean?
Fair play. So, with that in mind, you're in the gym. You've seen the development of Ebony over the last few months, because there are people that think, like you said, both are of the same playing field. Some people think, obviously in the UK, that Shannon Courtney has the more superior boxing skill. I know you can't give me a game plan. I know you can't give me a game I know you can't give me a game plan, but talk to me. How does Bridges, I was going to call the Ball, how does Bridges beat Shannon Courtney on Saturday night?
Well, we know that, we've seen that Shannon Courtney doesn't like pressure. However, she showed in her last, but she can adjust to, pressure, if you want to call the last fight pressure. And she adjusted. She learned from her loss against Ball. And although I thought her last opponent wasn't maybe a great showcase of what she learned, because it was such a, such a contrast of an opponent, but she was able to adjust. We also see, and everybody knows, even if I wasn't in the camp, that Shannon Courtney gets a little ahead of herself. That's why she got dropped by Ball. She actually hurt Ball and then got careless. You know what I mean? Shannon Courtney's used to being, on the top pedestal and being all eyes on me. So her mental game also, you can see it gets, it doesn't take much to take away from her mental game. She gets caught with certain shots. Analytically, I analyze everybody, including myself. You know what I mean? So she's open for a lot of different shots. Has she made adjustments? We shall see. I always say prepare for war, so you'll be prepared for war. But I also think on the Bridges side, and this was myself, I said this last year, I didn't know much about Ebony until last year when she went to Philadelphia for 2 weeks prior to fighting in Indiana. Didn't know much, saw it, and it shocked me, because what I saw online and then what I saw in the ring was amazing, because I knew she was only with new coaches for 2 weeks, and the little adjustments that she made a huge difference, and that intrigued me. I'm like, wow, this girl is like a sponge, and I knew what they worked on. So I've seen a huge improvement. Bridges listens, and I know that there's an answer for everything. We have an answer for everything. There's going to be adjustments. We're not just bringing a hammer to build a house. We're bringing a whole toolbox, which I always talk about, and every possible scenario we run through. Is there a possibility one of them might get cut? Will you get hurt? There's so many things. And from Ebony's debut, she broke her ankle and continued to fight. You know what I mean? So we know she's tough. We know Shannon's tough. We know she throws. We know she comes forward, and so does an Ebony. So I believe just the best Ebony needs to show up for this fight tomorrow. we've worked on things, we worked on game plans, and I know Shannon Courtney, I know that camp has worked on their game plan as well. They were already ready to fight and redeem that ball fight, you know, that loss, and they was ready to fight for a world title. So we know she's going to come hungry. You know, there's been bickering back and forth, so it's going to be like two bulls hitting head. You know what I mean?
Just get it on now, for God's sake.
It's really all the hard work.
My God.
All the talk, all the hype. You know what I mean? She just gotta show. Ebony gotta show up with everything that she's been working on in her best self. I don't think there's enough online to see that what she's really capable of. She's capable of a lot more than just coming forward.
Which okay, we can address that, because obviously you see things that we don't see. We see what's on social media, etc. But there are, you know as well as I know, there are gym boxers and there are people that rise to the occasion. Do you feel now that you've seen that little spark that can translate into the ring? Absolutely.
And like I said, I saw that before this fight. I saw that in Indiana. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, she rose to the occasion. It's like playing a video game. So absolutely, she's hungry. She's ready for this. And what's gonna see on Saturday? I know Courtney is too. I know Shannon Courtney's waiting for this. She has a chip on her shoulder. That loss did her some good. You know what I mean? She has a lot to prove.
Yeah. So, talking of, let's take it back a little bit, because you mentioned about, and it's quite noticeable, I have to say, that Shannon bites mentally when she's under pressure. She's, I mean, sorry, but I just was like, it's too easy. It's too easy. Do you think, having watched what I've seen and knowing what I know about boxing, it's like, hey, don't make it
for real.
So I've got my opinion, but do you think the mind games have been won by Ebony Bridges?
Absolutely. They were won weeks ago when she took the fight. You know what I mean? So I saw her before this fight even happened, and was it the ball? It was the ball fight. Her mental gets really frazzled really fast, and it's one of those things I think has to do with being perfect and being all eyes on me and being like, from what I can see, nothing against the girl personally, but her mental is about as strong as like tissue paper. Like, and I think it trickles down from the team, because like I said, the bubble is small in here, and there's been some bickering back and forth. And I have, if act accordingly to those people you surround yourself with, I think the mental of the entire team is like down the drain at this point. I think Ebony's got into Shannon's Courtney's skin like a tattoo. I mean, and just her energy, I'm really big on energy, even watching through interviews and just being so worried about the wrong thing and thinking that Ebony is a certain way about a thing. She's going through, I mean, it's going to be such a contrast when that bell rings, between the smiley, happy Ebony to when that bell rings. And I think, the mental, I think Courtney's focus might be too invested in the wrong thing. And I think Ebony penetrated that mental bubble a long time ago.
I'm going to thank you for that. I love your honesty. I wanted to go back, sorry, because there's loads of people. Hi, Lisa. There's loads of people on here asking, Ebony Bridges bringing that strap back. That's, I can't see who that is. Sorry, I'm kind of half twisting my head. My other phone is taking forever. Queen, that's you.
Queen Underwood?
The champ, that's you, I think. It's not me. About to take off on a plane, but got to show my what? Oh, Cabo Verde native New England sister. Some love. Who's that? Main event. Yes, darling.
Hey, what's going on?
Because people have been nice enough to tune in the day, I thought I'd give them a little shout out. So let's go to the other. One thing I have to say is I appreciate, because people are too frightened to share their opinions on boxing. It's kind of like, I have to say the right thing. So that is why I always invite you back, because it's like, not only do you know boxing, number two, you're honest about boxing. So with that, let's talk about the other fight on the night, which is, God, I can't remember her name. That's really bad. Savannah Marshall is fighting. God,
Lindbergh.
that's really bad.
Mariah
Thank
or
you,
Maria
Winberg.
Lindbergh, yeah.
Jesus, thank you, darling. It's on my phone.
It's all right.
It's on the phone that I'm talking to you on. So, what about that fight? Obviously, she's a late addition because obviously Marshall's previous opponent had to pull out because of, I think it was the coach got COVID.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that fight.
I mean, we can talk about the previous opponent and the current opponent. I think it would have been the same result with both. I mean, it's big ups and shout out to Lindbergh for taking and jumping in last minute. I mean, she hasn't fought since 2019. She beat a girl that, you know, had like 30-something losses. She hasn't been that active. She's older in her career now. I mean, I think Savannah Marshall is special. She has such a unique style, such a fluid style. She's smart. She has the experience. She has the power, and she showed that especially throughout her career, and especially in her last fight. She's adapting to the pro style beautifully. So I think that I love it. I was talking to her. She was working out. I'm just watching a shadow box. I just love how she moves. A lot of people don't like her style, but I love her style. People say it's boring. I love her style. Like I love it.
It's like poetry in motion.
Yeah.
Watching the movement.
Yep.
And it's just a different take, isn't it?
Yep. It's a different take. She's so relaxed. She's in her element, and I mean, she's such a pleasure to be around as well and to talk boxing with, because we were for a second. And I would be surprised if I see Lindbergh last to the last bell. I don't think I mean, she's durable. She has, you know, her feet aren't that fast. Her hands are fast when she gets close to you, but she's so much shorter. And I think the reach, the movement, the fluid movement, and the smarts of Savannah Marshall, you know, I mean, is she going to put up a good fight for as long as she can? But I don't think she'll last the entire fight.
Unfortunately, I have to agree. I think one of the things that I will say is she's a legitimate, you know, professional. She's had, 19 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws, which suggests to me that she's done her learning on the job. So she's obviously going to be durable. But like you say, I think Savannah is just a little too much. A little too much in all departments, I have to say.
Absolutely. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. This is boxing, but I don't see it going any other way. But Savannah coming out victorious, defending that title, and it's going to be either a stoppage, a knockout, or, you know, I don't think it's going to go to the scorecards. And big respect to Lindbergh for taking it, but you know.
That's exactly what I was about to say, because I mean, that also shows that some people are working away in the gym and they're just waiting for that phone call, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, she's later in her career, and she just jumped right on it. I mean, they were trying to fumble around to find a last-minute opponent, and she stepped up. So that's not easy to do, especially against this person, you know what I mean? So against Savannah, so.
Yeah. So listen, I want to talk to you a little bit about your career before I let you go. What is happening? Any fight news? I know that you've got an interview with Matchroom tomorrow, haven't you? Is that on the radio show, or is that on TV? How is that?
I believe it's going to be how they've been doing. It's I believe it's going to be just like this. This phone. Sorry.
See, it's because I don't like to hear about another channel on my.
I know. Apologize.
So Matchroom, you're on tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Tell the fans where they can see you. I'm not a hater. I won't keep you to myself.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm not sure where it can be viewed. I believe it's going to be on the same platform as the other fighters previous all week as they've been doing it. So I'm sure it's going to be viewed. You'll be able to see it on YouTube and on all their platforms. You know, just basically outlining what's going on with me. I don't have any fight dates scheduled as of yet. I'm always in the gym, and it's been a pleasure to be able to be in some kind of camp with Ebony. Always working on something. I hope to defend by June, July. It just is up to my team.
Please,
God. I hope so. I mean, the obvious thing that they want to talk about here is, you know, I'm in the UK. You have your WBC champ in the UK, Chantel Cameron, shout out.
Yes.
I would love to make that fight happen. It just has to make sense. It has to make dollars. It has to make sense. And, you know, we have one of the hottest women's divisions from 140 or from 130 to like 154. It's crazy how you can mix up the fights right now. And 140, you have a champ at every major sanction. And so no matter how you slice it, these 4 champions, it's going to be great. I hope to hope to unify and be undisputed 140-pound champ. But no matter how you slice it, it's how you match it up. It's gonna be awesome. So I hope to defend soon.
There's
I
choices.
don't know the fans. I know there's so many
choices.
For once, I never have choices in my career.
But do you know what I think is going to happen? What I can guarantee will happen? I guarantee you'll have a fight here.
I hope so.
In this year, I'll put money on it.
So. Like, I wouldn't even mind coming here for you. You put money on it? Okay.
I'll put money. Listen, I don't even bet. I don't even bet. I'll put money on it.
I hope so, man. Like I said, I love the atmosphere here, the how professionally everything's done. It's just amazing, and the fans here are just y'all make me laugh. Some of the insults I have to kind of say out loud because it's hilarious. But as far as
I don't even know why you bother reading them.
I read them out loud. I'm like, wait, what? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
But boxing fans out here are amazing, man. I've gotten so much love throughout the years from UK fans, so I hope to fight out here.
Yeah, I can see it happening, and I'd love to see you here. You're always such a pleasure to interview. It's going to be a great night of boxing tomorrow night. Sorry, we didn't speak about the men. I'm going to be totally honest. I didn't do any research. I've been busy.
You know, to be honest with you, I was so focused on Ebony's fight. I'm like, who's the main event of this card? I wasn't even paying attention. No disrespect, but and it just so happens that Ebony knows the main event, personally. But I just didn't really. I mean, especially having the job to do. I'm like, I really don't care who I'm fighting on the card. No disrespect, but we have a job to do, and it's all fun and games until that bell rings. So we have a job to do, and we're gonna come out victorious.
So I've got to ask. I have to ask if Ebony Bridges is victorious on Saturday night. Can we see a fight with Lisa Whiteside? Come on.
I would love to see that fight. I was actually just watching some of her interviews and stuff. I'm always studying. I would love to see that.
She's good though, isn't she?
Yeah, no, she is really.
She's
really
decent.
Good. And now she has something else to fight for. She just had a son too. So, I feel like motherhood just like boosts everybody's motivation. So I mean, how the chips fall, I don't know. I know people want to see Bridges ball. I know people want to see Courtney ball. But when Bridges win, I see a fight with ball first. But I also see Whiteside.
Isn't that already signed and sealed? Actually,
it's probably going to be her mandatory. I'm not going to don't quote me, but I'm sure that will come next before Whiteside. But that's not going to be too far behind. That 118 division as well is popping. So. A lot of choices.
It's popping. Oh my God. Listen. It's been an absolute pleasure. But I'm telling you, get Lisa Whiteside in the mix. If we want to see fire, if we want to see fire and fury, actually, and the bums on the seat, so legitimately money that will be spent to see that fight as well. But let's not talk about, pushing Ball out, because obviously we'd like Ball to get her chance and then Lisa to take a little inroad.
Yep.
Look at me like a manager.
Yeah, you could. You do. You gotta wear hats, many hats like me. That's what my Native American name. Many feathers, many talents, many hats.
Trust me. In fact, I think I might do better than some managers. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, there's a lot of managers I can name on both hands. You do better.
Listen, that's a conversation. That's a conversation
we can have.
Listen, I've been hearing some stories.
Man,
listen,
man.
That's for off camera, but I've heard some stories, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I'm surprised though.
I'm not surprised. I have the pleasure of being around a lot of people in boxing, and I hear conversations. I'm just like, wait, what? It's amazing. It's amazing, but it's not surprising at this point because I've been around for so long. Yeah.
I think I sometimes look through rose-tinted glasses and think, nah, you can't. When it's like it's far and it's bad, and then you hear something that's even worse, you're like, fucking hell, does it get that worse?
It gets worse every day. It gets worse. I hear more stories. I'm just like, yo, are you serious? People would go through that length to be that much of an asshole to do that shady shit. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, but you've got your little protector.
I do.
You got your little protector, so it's all good. There's nobody gonna be pulling the wool over your. Hey! Listen, but you know what? Don't be trying beating the girl up on camera. That's domestic abuse.
I know, man.
The domestic abuse.
Listen. We were quarantining you for like, I don't know.
Quarantine,
like 2 days.
Quarantine play.
Yeah, so we wind up, we went straight WWE here.
I know, man. It was fun.
No, it's all good. It's good to see that you guys. It's such a shame, to be fair, that like you're not allowed out. It's such a shame.
It is.
Listen,
we'll be back though. We'll definitely
next
be back.
time, quarantine play. That's what we're going to call it now.
Yeah.
Quarantine play.
Quarantine.
Listen, good luck to both of you tomorrow night. In fact, not both of you, all of you, Team Bridges as a whole, as a unit. I like to say good luck to the coaches as well, because, you know, sometimes people forget that it's not just the fighter. Obviously, they're in the ring, but it's the people around them that make them who they are as well.
Absolutely.
So all
Thank
the
you
best
so much.
for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Send you lots of love, darling.